showed her how to do it.
I tried to show her.
What?
Okay. I tried to show her, and then I'm going to go live. And we're live on BuzzChomp. Hey, everyone. I'm Dan Salem. My little daughter, Maddie's over here. She turns 1 year old tomorrow. 1 year old, more specifically. I'm here to talk to you about the NFL and NFL free agency as it continues on YouTube live. I'm Dan Salem, at the Dan Salem over on Twitter. And I'm also at the Dan Salem on Facebook. And I'm about to go live on Facebook Live. Gin and juice. Tanqueray and tonic. And we're live in 3, and 2, and 1. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. I'm Dan Salem live. BuzzChomp's YouTube channel at the Dan Salem over on Facebook. Hey, Maddie. This is my beautiful daughter, Maddie, down here. So if you see me looking off, it's at her. She turns 1 year old tomorrow. That's kind of amazing. I am at the Dan Salem on Twitter. And we're about to dive more into NFL free agency because the news just keeps going. I took a 1 week hiatus last week, had some family in town for my daughter's birthday visit. And now we're back, and there's some big news. I'm an LA guy. You see the Clippers hat over here. Facebook, you can't because the screen's a little bit more limited. Don't understand why Facebook Live Creator app can't let you go widescreen. It doesn't make sense. Everyone wants to see a vertical-ass video, and yet this is meant to go horizontal. It's very perplexing to me. I don't get it. Cheers to that. Gin and juice, Tanqueray and tonic. Maddie agrees. Hi, Maddie. I'm talking to the world at large. I love you too. I love you too. Our LA Rams. I am a Jets fan who apparently placed. We'll get to that in a minute. The LA Rams are signing Ndamukong Suh. I have a hard time pronouncing the man's name. He was previously with the Miami Dolphins. A couple other teams before that. At least one. Blanking. Suh's a great player. He's never been known as a locker room guy, per se. But I think that some of that's a little bit overstated. Maybe he just didn't jive with his coaches. Maybe he didn't feel like he was being used right in his scheme. He is one of the best NFL defensive linemen there is. He was available. Miami Dolphins let him go. Too expensive. Rams snatched him up on a 1 year deal. This is great because when players are on 1 year deals or on the final years of their contract, we call those contract years. Contract years. That means they're going to play really hard so that they get paid next offseason. Suh is not going to be the exception. The Rams already had a great defense. Now they're adding Suh into the mix. They did lose a couple players to free agency. My Jets snatched up Jermaine Johnson. But they still have a great defense. They were a great team last year. They have a very good offense and an excellent young quarterback. Adding Suh in there, it's a huge veteran presence in the center of their line. They should really be able to stop the run now, get to the quarterback better. He just always commands a double team. What's up, Maddie? Are you okay? What's up?
He's okay.
He always commands a double team, which frees up other defensive players to make plays. And the Rams have a lot of playmakers. So I saw ESPN categorize that he has not been statistically great. Or someone was quoted. Maybe it was Sean McVay, is that correct? Coach of the LA Rams, quoted as saying, he's not statistically great recently, but he's a great player. He commands a double team. It's hard to rack up stats and tackles when you're getting double teamed. That frees up other players to just run wild. Miami's defense is going to be hurting without him. I put quotes because I'm an LA guy, so the LA Rams and Chargers are my teams now. I'll root for them. But I'm a Jets fan first and foremost. The Jets put in an offer to Suh last Friday. It was apparently higher than the $14 million he's going to get for 1 year from the Rams. But they had a deadline, and they took it away before he made a decision, and therefore they weren't exactly beat. I don't know if he was trying to leverage it against it. Who knows? The Jets stole the Rams player. Now the Rams stole the Jets player. Just politics. I'm kind of happy that he didn't join because the Jets got rid of Muhammad Wilkerson. They got rid of not Leonard Williams. They got rid of Sheldon Richardson because these were great players on the defensive line who just didn't jive in the locker room. The Jets are still a rebuilding team. Now, they're going to be really good this season because of how they've added to an already strong core. You get veteran quarterback teaching the young quarterback, and this is a team that could easily win 9 games because they were close last year. Those losses were very close. The difference between 6 and 9 wins in the NFL is next to nothing. And the Jets are heading towards that 9-10 win range, which is usually good enough for the playoffs. Sue would have definitely been a huge force on their defense, don't get me wrong. But he is a veteran near the ending of his career. He wants to be on a proven winner, which is the LA Rams, not a season or two away from a championship, which is hopefully the New York Jets. The Rams are entering 2018 excuse me, fully aimed at winning. Thank you. Got to tickle my throat. Oh, the Rams will be entering 2018 aimed firmly at repeating as division champions and then winning a Super Bowl because they had a really good year last season. Adding Sue bolsters that tremendously. Now, I welcome comments from you guys listening at home or wherever you may be watching. Are you excited that Sue's joining the LA Rams? Comment, because this will be up on YouTube. This will be up on my Facebook page. Comment in the comments section, the area listed as comments. And let me know, are you happy that Sue's joining the LA Rams? I'm kind of happy he's not joining the Jets. Now, I would have gotten on board if he did join the Jets. But I'm happy he's not because we maintain our cap space. We can use it in other places. We can save it for later. The Sue news, the signing, not the only news coming down the pipe. I'm not sure what all this – okay, actually, that's not true. There have been a lot of Odell Beckham Jr. headlines recently coming from mostly the Giants. If you didn't know, he's asking for a new contract. He's in negotiations to be signed long-term by the Giants. The Giants, who don't really have a lot of excess money to spend, but they better spend it on him, and he knows it. Giants know it. He has all the leverage. He is the best player at his position, the most popular player in the sport of football today, maybe second to Tom Brady, depending on who you ask. He's extremely recognizable because he has the color hair. He did miss most of last season with an injury, which technically works against him if he wasn't Odell Beckham Jr. He has said he will not participate in workouts unless he gets a new contract, and the Giants have said they expect him to be at workouts. Then you get all these news. The Giants, is he on the trading block? Oh, is he a bad voice in the locker room? Oh, there's some lawsuit against him. Oh, he's off the field. This is all crap to try to sway the agent to sign the lower deal that I'm sure the Giants already offered. He's not going to sign it. He's got to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Now, one could argue that he shouldn't be paid higher than a quarterback. Yet, I think Odell Beckham Jr. is more valuable than Kirk Cousins. I think that only maybe Aaron Rodgers would command a higher salary. But Odell Beckham should get paid higher than every other player outside of maybe a quarterback or two. So it's possible that he can get less than Cousins. Cousins is a quarterback. But he shouldn't get less than any other player at any other position because he's the best and he puts people in the seats. The Giants sucked last year, no small part due to his injury. And it was blatantly clear how valuable he is. He has not won an MVP, but he probably deserved one. Odell Beckham Jr. makes Eli Manning look great. Eli Manning looked awful without Odell Beckham Jr. I think that most of this noise in the media is being fueled to attempt to lower the contract price, which seems asinine to me because he's already proved himself. He has nothing left to prove. He is not going to play this year as the last year of his deal because he's coming off an injury. If he gets hurt again, he's screwed. He's not going to play that way. The Giants better sign him long term. If they don't re-up that, their fans are going to freaking go conniption shit. Pardon my language. Like they're going to freak out. He's their superstar. Like, how do you compete with the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Redskins on a smaller scale without a superstar? You don't. You absolutely do not. Now, yes, the Giants have the second pick in the draft, and perhaps they do not go quarterback. Perhaps they grab Saquon Barkley, who could be a stud at running back. But Odell Beckham Jr. is the guy you got to keep him. You got to keep him. You got to keep him. Like, I'm like, hey, face play. This is all this news. Sign him long term. Pay the man his money. He is worth every freaking penny. Yes, he was hurt last season, but I mean, the NFL, everyone gets hurt at least once. Some of the other news and notes. Owners' meetings are going on, so that means that new rules are flowing down the pipe, sort of. They approved a new catch rule and a new ejection rule. I don't really care about the ejection rule. They all suck anyways. And I don't have a feeling. I don't want to read the details, but I doubt that it's lessening the penalty for an ejection. I have a feeling they're willing to eject more freely. The catch rule apparently will make things that should have been a catch once again, instead of last year where many things that were obviously catches somehow got ruled not catches. It's a stupid thing. I like referees. I like the human element. But sometimes you just wish a fucking robot would make the decision and all ambiguity would go away. I hope this catch rule helps because it's frustrating. I can vividly remember at least 3 or 4 occasions where my New York Jets caught the ball, scored a touchdown, and then somehow the touchdown was taken away. And I watched the replays. There was not a single thing that made me think that they should overturn the call that ruled it a touchdown. I understand if the call is not ruled a touchdown or a catch initially. But if it's ruled it initially, what the hell are you looking at that overturned it? Don't effing know. I don't effing know. So this catch rule will hopefully clear up what is a catch, make things a catch initially so you can't overturn it and make it a non-catch. Because at least if it's ruled a catch first, then it's harder to overturn it. But if it's not ruled a catch, it's harder to rule it a catch because of the stupid rules. I hate rules. But that's what this game is predicated on. It's how football works. I'm also seeing the headline here that they've banned lowering the head to initiate contact. When I played football, that was called spearing, and it was literally the stupidest thing you could do, and it was a penalty. How was this not already a rule? Don't understand. So spearing, I suppose, is intended to legislate against tackling technique. This is saying that you can't lower your head to initiate contact of any kind. If you lower your head, you can't see where you're going. You're going to run head first into somebody, and you're going to break your freaking neck. This is like football 101. They teach this in Pop Warner. They teach this at every stage of high school. Day 1, eyes up. Don't lower your head. You're going to freaking end up in a wheelchair. This is fucking common sense, people. Why is this a new rule? I don't understand where this was not a rule. Really? You don't spear. Spearing's a penalty. You don't lower your head to initiate contact. You're going to hurt yourself. This is like a rule to protect you from your own stupidity because, yes, getting low is the key to knocking your opponent down. I understand that. I played a lot of football. You need to get lower than the other guy to tackle him. You need to get lower than the other guy to knock him off the block, get around him, and get to the quarterback, vice versa, to handle the block. You need to be low. But if you lower your head, you're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage. I don't understand. You can't see. You're looking at the man's foot in front of you. Unless you're hitting your head into his stomach, and then you're going to hurt yourself. This is a rule to protect people from hurting themselves. It's not getting low at all costs. Also, I can assume that many chop blocks were initiated by someone lowering their head and then diving at the knees with the shoulder and the neck area. And since you're hitting at a weak point, you're not really going to hurt yourself. Maybe this will cut back on chop blocking or blocking below the waist in general, because it's hard to do that without lowering your head first to initiate the contact. I can see that being part of the impetus. Yes, Maddie, but it seems common sense. Like, chop blocking is so freaking dirty. I know there's some players that do it. It is so dirty. You were just throwing your 200 to 300 pound weight at a man's knee. He is not going to get up. That sucks. It's not cool. I played. I understand the instinct. I've lived out the instinct and hurt people. And I don't wish I didn't do it because it's dirty. It's not good. Everybody playing football at some point or another, you do a dirty move. Football's a dirty game. So I am in favor of rules that make it cleaner and safer. But this one seems common sense. I can't believe it took this long. Where was this rule? Where did it come from? couple other news and notes, because this free agency period is literally never ending, and I love it. I am impressed that the NFL news cycle is this on point nearly every single day. Johnny Manziel is making headlines because no one else is. He got 13 to 15. Hey, Maddie, to you. He got 13 to 15, something like that, teams to show up and watch him throw. He basically held a "Hi, I'm Johnny Manziel" pro day 2 years after his exodus from the NFL. Now, the real news here is that Johnny Manziel, who's been out of the NFL for 2 years because he had to go into rehab for alcohol and basically was a crap fest of a quarterback because he had all these personal problems, got 13 teams to show up and watch him throw at a televised pro day style performance. Whereas Colin Kaepernick threw with his friends and recorded it on video because no one came to see him. Colin Kaepernick is a better quarterback than Johnny Manziel. Colin Kaepernick stands for something important. He stands for an issue in this country that all of us can pretty much rally behind, one side or the other. But honestly, social change is always a positive change. Yes, some people are going to be upset, but hell, slavery and abolishing it was a social change. I think we can all agree that was a positive social change. Change is hard. I get it. And those who start it are often kicked to the curb and scorned. That is what is happening with Colin Kaepernick. No one will admit they're blackballing the man, but they have absolutely blackballed him in the NFL, and it is a darn shame. I'm happy that my Jets signed Teddy Bridgewater, but he's coming off of missing 2 seasons because of a knee injury. Colin Kaepernick is not hurt. Colin Kaepernick was a very, very good quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. They wanted to go in another direction. I get it. But Colin Kaepernick would be a better backup than Teddy Bridgewater right now. I don't know the politics behind signing Colin Kaepernick. All I can imagine is that every NFL owner is afraid they're going to lose season ticket holders if they sign the man. And that is freaking crazy. It's football, people. I don't see how it's so difficult to separate football and politics. So you protest the national anthem before the game. Okay, that's your decision. Now the game's starting. Complete separation. There was the pregame BS that no one gives a crap about, and now we're playing football, which we actually care about. The pregame stuff is in the pregame, and it's called pregame because no one gives a shit. Nobody cares. It's warm-ups. It's fucking singing and dancing and whatever, advertising shit. We don't care. Nobody cares. We care about the game. Why are we hung up on this anthem and shit? Honestly, we have the national anthem because we're in America and we want to promote our country. So be it. I'm not going to rail against the anthem. It's a positive thing for our national pride, and it unites us as a people. And at this point in our history, we really need something to unite us. That being said, it's sports. It's sports. It has nothing to do with the actual game. These sport leagues are being required by our government to have a national anthem play before the game. It is a legitimate national requirement. They must play the anthem because the game takes place in our country. When we go into Canada, we play our anthem because Canada's nice and they play theirs. We go to England, I think that they would play both. It's what you do. It's how it works because of countries and countries and countries. But the sports doesn't care about country. The sports care about the team and the branding and the league. And I think like we separate church and state, perhaps we could separate sports and politics. There's no reason not to. They've only gotten melded together for politic reasons, money. It is to our country's benefit to piggyback on the popularity of sports. Oh, my sports figure is doing the national anthem. I'll do it too. The problem is you can't control every individual, and their right to free speech allows them to say, hell, I don't want to do this. I don't agree with what the country is going right now. I don't agree with this direction. When did it become an issue for us to disagree with our country's direction? That is a God-given American right. The whole point of being an American is that we get to disagree with our country. Other countries don't get to disagree. They get shot. We as Americans get to disagree. That's the whole point of being an American. We should be championing sports figures who disagree and actually take a stand. I don't care what their stand is. I'm not picking sides. But the fact that they took one is great. They have the confidence to lead. Colin Kaepernick has the confidence to lead. I would love him to lead my football team. He actually is he's a very good football player. And he stood up and made it known that he's not afraid to be a leader. He's not afraid to take criticism. He's not afraid to take a side and a stand for something he believes in. Those are admirable qualities, regardless of the stance he took. I don't understand why this has become so difficult for people. Who cares what side he took? The fact that he picked something is admirable. The fact that he stood up for what he believes in is admirable. These are things we should teach our children. Having a child, I would love her to emulate someone who is willing to stand up for something they believe in, even though they know they're going to get fucking blackballed by the league for doing it. That is admirable. Okay, I went on a tangent there because I kind of feel strongly about this. I would like to see Colin Kaepernick back in the NFL. He was a fun player to watch, and there are a lot of teams that could use his services. My Jets were one of them. They don't need him now. But freaking Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, you got shaky quarterback situations, dudes. And Colin Kaepernick is young, and he brings a lot to the table. I don't know. I don't get it. I really hope Colin Kaepernick finds a home on a football team for this season, but I'm not holding my breath. He'll have to find a second career. It seems like the NFL has absolutely blackballed him. Now, the XFL is being resurrected, as is another bastardized league started by former NFL players. I don't know yet its name. If Colin Kaepernick joins the XFL, that will be huge for both parties. He is a known commodity, a semi-celebrity because everyone knows his name. Maybe that's where this is headed. I don't see why the XFL would have any problem with Colin Kaepernick because everybody knows who he is, and they need people to sell their seats. I'm Dan Salem. I have been live talking the NFL free agency, and other NFL-related topics that I happen to get on a tangent about. I'm live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. I will be live next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, over on BuzzChomp's YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook at The Dan Salem. I'm always at The Dan Salem on Twitter. Don't be afraid to send me questions, comments, and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll drink to these because these are fun times in the NFL. Little gin and juice, a little Tanqueray and tonic. I'm signing off. Thank you, and good night. Peace. As I finish over there and I end my live stream here, good night.